Another auction lot win. And what did I get? I already have, but we'll sort them and see if these are better copies. Shopaholic Ties and Knot, Shopaholic and Sister, Mini Shopaholic. Other books in the series I haven't got: Confessions of Shopaholic, Shopaholic and Baby, Shopaholic Takes Manhattan, and then other books by her, but I don't think a part of it. Maybe this is, I'm not sure. Wedding Night. These I think are just extra stories, other stories by the same author. 20s Girl, and I've Got Your Number. So there's 6 books that I wanted. I'm working out the whole lot with all the books I didn't want. It worked out, these 6 books worked out €2.40 each. And considering there's many hardbacks here as well, these are all hardbacks, that's a pretty good price. Let's see if any have got a price on the back. Don't like barcodes. Barcodes. The paperback is $10.95. Barcode. And this one is a soft cover, US dollars, $11.95. So good deal there. And what I will do is the books I don't want is put them back in the auction with some other books I've read and don't want to keep. So I should get my 6 books for free. Look out for more wins or future auctions. watching my latest videos and my lives where I also have been talking about it, I recently got a haul from an auction lot I won of cross stitch, and I did a video on that, and in that video I said there was a second lot, but at the time I didn't have the money for it. The first lot was €25 and the second lot, which I didn't buy, was also €25. So I bought the first lot and I went through it, and go back and look, it is linked below so you can see the whole process of what happened. But as I was going through it, there were things that looked like full kits, but they didn't have the material or the threads, but they were still in the package of a full kit. So then I got to thinking, well, perhaps some of the stuff, was it spread out over two lots, taken apart to make it look like there was more items. Anyway, I did a second video on my original lot that I won in the auction of cross stitch, and I showed after I'd sorted it all out, I went through all loose threads and what there was randomly in the box, and the second video I show you what I managed to complete of sets. But there were still things missing, particularly the material. Anyway, they said they won't take less than €25, but lo and behold, this auction is every 2 weeks, and we've just had that second auction, and it went down to minimum of €20 for the second set that I hadn't bought. So of course, looking through as best I can, it's unseen. There is one screenshot of what there is there, but as I say, I thought the first lot was full kits. There's no way of telling unless you actually can view it. So I've looked randomly at this second screenshot of the lot I hadn't bought, and the thing I noticed was, whether the other bits are kits or not, there was another magazine perhaps, and there seemed to be a small pile of the material that you do the cross stitch on. So I was thinking it's going to be worth paying that €20 because I've already made my money back on the amount of the value of the first lot of stuff. So I was going to gamble €20 to buy the second lot and see if the material actually matches up to the kits. So for now, I'm just going to show you, again, I haven't looked at what I've got yet. I'm doing the unboxing with you now of the second lot to see what there actually is. I'll then go through the whole lot and show you what matched up, if anything, from the second buy to the first buy. So stay tuned and look out for the previous videos, which I've linked under here. So let's get on with the unboxing of the second lot. final roundup of what I've got. I will cover this box because it fits quite well with the kits that I got. Now, just to round up and tell you that combining the first auction lot and the second auction lot, there were 4 crossovers, meaning there were 4 sets that wouldn't have been sets if I hadn't have bought both of the auction lots. As you can see, I've now labelled them all. So we've got patterns only. This was from the first kit, but there are also parts of it in the second kit, more pictures, hence why it's still patterns only, but there's more printed out sheets of the pattern. I think maybe someone photocopied it so they could reuse it. Again, pattern only. Now this company pin, you'll see in a minute, I've got some threads that say pin, but they weren't with any kit. So what I've done, I'll show you a box of the threads, have organised them. So if I do any of these that have a number on of pin, I might be able to cross-reference them, even though they're not numbered on the patterns, they're just a shade. So the numbers on here are just when they've been pre-done on a card, not just numbered 1 through to 14 or whatever the set is, without the reference to the colour. But I'll show you that in a minute. We have another pattern only. The parrots was a pattern only. This one from the second set remained pattern only. This one pattern only. This one remained pattern only, but there were some colours again that I could cross-reference, so I put those threads in it. Some threads came just with a little bit of paper round with a number, and some of those did correspond to that set, because luckily this set did have actual code numbers, and as you can see I've ticked the ones that I have found a copy of. This one was everything apart from the material. This was one that I got parts from both auction lots, and this is now just no material. The same with this one. This now is just no material. I managed to look up the code number, and again this is another pin. I believe this is from Thailand. This one is no material. Those threads are there. If I say no material, it means all the threads are complete. This one, just material missing. This fish one is just material missing. The squirrel, which I think this was from the second lot, and I thought it had no threads. It did have the threads as well, so this one is just material missing. Now this is complete, a full set, everything there, but this one has been half done, so I need to finish that one. This is from the previous person that's half done it. I haven't done them that quick. This one is a full set, everything there but half done. This was a flower one, so you can see this is half done. This one, everything's there. It's 3 pictures and some of this has been done. I think there's either 1 or 2. I think 1 picture left to do, I believe. Now this file is all complete kits, brand new, and all parts there, so I'll just show you those. So over both sets we have this one, which I believe is Taurus from Zodiac cards, signs of the Zodiac. This one, I really want to do this one. Again, all these now full sets that I'm showing you. That's really pretty. full set. Another complete new kit. These I got from the first auction lot, and they're not the same, but they're a pair. And as my friend Kathy from Little Gardens Big Dreams suggested, it depending on the size, there's the size there, but I have to work it out. I could do these as a complete bag, possibly, because even the cross-stitch material is the same colour on both of those. Another complete kit. You have to count how many there are if you want to know. Another complete kit. Now these two weren't from the auction. These I got a little while ago on Bazaraki, which is, I guess, like your Craigslist, but it's only for Cyprus. And I got one for free and one for €2. That's a Monet picture. So I've put that in because it's a kit. And as I say, one was free, one was €2. That one was free because it was open, and this one was €2. So I've got those in there because they're complete kits. And finally, of the cross-stitch auction lots, there was one embroidery pattern. So I've kept that in there, but in a folder. And this has just been started. Let's lay it out so you can see it. This has been started, but most of it has not been done. Of the other items, there was this frame, which I've been assured if I learn how to use them I will like them. There was this frame. There are all these wooden ones. So how many wooden ones do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There were 3 plastic frames. Of the odds and ends, I use an old video case to keep things in, so this didn't come with it. But in here I've put all the thread organisers that I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And there are some with the completed kits. Of items that are no use to me that I got was a crochet pattern that's been laminated. Now this says it's for quilting. I was going to get rid of that, but as we got nice straight corners, I might be able to use that for crafts and card making. And this, if anybody wants it, they need to let me know. It's claws for silk painting to hold your material taut. So if anyone wants that, let me know. Also, 2 things that were very useful to me. There's a booklet on embroidery stitching, 100 stitches. So I will be interested to see if I can follow that. And something very useful is there's the main companies that I know of that do the threads are DMC and Anchor. They're the ones that we always used in England, and this is the colour codes of DMC, so that could be helpful if I'm trying to figure out, which, you know, I was looking for grey thread for ages to finish off my bag I was making, and had I got that number chart at that point, I could have figured out what shade I needed. So here's the incomplete bag. It was a giveaway bag, advertising nonsense, that we got at an event, and I've just made my own pattern out of square paper. I cross stitched the picture that I'd made, and I hadn't quite finished with the grey. We've got some here, a bit more of his arm to do. And in all what I got with the threads, there was actually one that's matched very well, and there's a second one that's very close as well, so that's good. We've got a couple of booklets and patterns. So it's a book of patterns. As I say, there was another one like this that went with the pretty first kit I showed you, which was like a booklet, and this one's an alphabet one. A really thick book of cross stitch, which I've enjoyed looking through, and I'm bound to use something out of there at some point. If you want to see these in more detail, then go back and look at the other episodes when I did unboxing. And there was this file that came as well. In this old box, which I've covered with a nice picture, there was some Ada, the material. Not all what you see in here, some were mine. It's just the ones in here that I got with it, quite a few. This is just a roundup to show you what I spent in total and what I got once I sorted it all out. And then the best bit, there was a tin of threads in the first lot that I won, and there were a few loose ones in the second lot that I won, and it took me ages to work them all out and see if anything went with any of the kits, but I had great fun doing that. I made my own thread holders, if you like. I traced around one I had left, and you've got the little slots, and I've made them out of old cards and birthday cards, which was a great use of those. And I made literally hundreds for all the threads. These are the last ones left now after doing the second kit. Now originally I had these two boxes with my own thread in, and I wanted to buy another one for all the new thread. But what I got was this one. Again, if you look back at my videos, you'll see how much I paid for this box. And what I've done now is all my own threads, my original threads, are now in here. Very pretty. Which meant I had these two empty. Now what I did with these is I had about half of these ones that aren't the same brand or thickness as the ones in my main box. So I had about half of these, and these came with, I think, something I ordered at the very beginning to do cross stitch, probably one of the boxes itself. And you got a few colours. In one of the auction lots, they had obviously the same thing. They had some of these as well. So I've put these on my cards that I made and put them all in together. So this is one brand. It says made in Mexico. It doesn't really tell you, I think. But as I say, these were sort of 3 threads. So now they're all together, the same brand. So I can basically use those for anything. They don't belong to anything at all. And then in this other one, as I say, they were all different, the threads in that tin. Some were just knotted, and so they didn't have a brand. Some had a bit of paper wrapped around with a number on them, but no brand. Some had numbers on and a brand. And some were that pin. I was talking to you about a set, I think they're from Thailand at the beginning. Some say pin, the brand pin with a number. Now these ones, as you can see, I've labelled them all. These say pin on them. So I'm going to, whenever I make any of the ones in the kits that are brand pin that don't have the right threads, then I'll look to see if the colour matches there. Some, as I say, were just knotted, so they're all together. So some were just knotted, so I've branded them with KA, meaning knotted from the auction. So they're all together. Some just have the word blanc, and I've noticed if it's white, the DMC just calls them blanc now rather than a colour, so there's some of those. Then I've got some random, there's 2 in the back there that were just random brands, just 2 odd ones, 2 different brands, so they've gone in that area. What have we got here? Oh, these are KA as well, so they're knotted from the auction. These ones I've put DMC, so that's the brand, as you know, that I've been talking about, and these are numbered. So all these ones, you'll see I use different colour biros as well for quick reference. So there's quite a few of those. The blue turquoise numbers are those. And then we had the ones that, as I say, they actually had a number on them all, but they didn't have a brand, and they are this, this and this. So again, this box is really going to be kept for any time I do any of the kits. The lady or man who had all these cross-stitch stuff, then they obviously have bought these threads, whether to do the kits or for some other reason. So this basically is the box I'm going to keep for the kits and use for the kits. I mean, obviously some might just be colours they fancied buying and they bought some. But as I say, these definitely have the PINN, P-I-N-N brand on them. And they are just numbered, as I say, they're not numbered as in the shade. They're just numbered 1, 2, 3, 4 like that on the kits. So these are low numbers, 4, 5, 7, 13, 22, 30, and then 2 of unnumbered ones because the numbers had worn out on them. So they're definitely a PINN kit. And then, as I say, anything left at the end I can use for other projects. So that was a roundup. The first lot I paid €25 for. The second lot €20 for. So €45 in total. And that is everything I got and what made full sets. So let me know what you thought of that. And of course, I don't need any more cross-stitch threads right now. I've got a nice choice of colours. So yes, if I really need one of these, then perhaps I'll use it. I'm not someone who must have the right colour for a kit project, but obviously if the colour's there, then I'm going to use it. So don't forget to share this video with your craft friends. I have made previous videos on the unboxing from both auction lots, and I will link all of those below. So take a look at those. And happy crafting.